Hello, hello. Hello, hello, everyone. Hi, welcome in. Welcome in. Saturday Morning Live. I said what I said. And I pray these messages find you at the precise time you need them. As always, take what resonates with you and leave the rest for everyone else to find, as these are timeless collective messages, so we'll put it where it fits. Today, we're going to be getting some messages from the Hawk Spirit Totem. And I've been really looking forward to this message because I was visited by the Hawk Spirit a couple weeks back, and it was a very significant encounter, and it just left me with the impression that you all had messages from the Hawk Spirit too. With everything that I was learning and everything they showed me, it just was really impactful, and I wanted to offer some of that medicine to you as well. Robert, welcome in. Lisa, welcome in. Cynthia, welcome in. Can you guys hear me okay? Is the mic all right? I know I connect it to this one here, and sometimes it changes the levels, but I'm pretty sure we fixed that before we got on. Yeah, no, it's a little low. Here we go. How's that? That might be a little better. A little soft-spoken in the morning. You know how it goes, waking up on a Saturday morning. Everyone grab your coffee, grab your tea. Let's settle in, get your snacks. If you're driving, please be safe. And you can shout out any affirmations or intentions and just know that spirit hears you and I hear you in my heart. If you're responding to anything that's coming through that resonates with you, okay? Be safe. Robert, hello. Awesome. You just got up half an hour ago? Yeah. These energies are really unforgiving. The energies in the collective post eclipse, still in Mercury retrograde. I believe Venus is going to enter Aries shortly if it hasn't already. It's a little unforgiving. So I hope you guys are going easy on yourselves. All right. I'm going to go ahead, and my team is already here. I just want to offer my gratitude and offer my thanks to my spirit guides, offering gratitude and thanks for the spirit totem of the hawk for being here with us today and for helping me facilitate these messages for the collective. I want to thank your spirit team and you for being present, for following your intuition and landing here on this live, or wherever you are, whenever you are that you find this message, okay? So I'm gonna pull some cards, and then we're going to be doing a little bit of channeling with the Hawk Spirit Totem. And I know that all these messages today are coming from them. Colleen, welcome in. Yeah, as you guys are coming in, come and say hello. Say hello. Say your name. Say your name. So I can say hi. So for those of you, I have a lot of new folks on my channel. Saturdays are typically I'm usually a straight shooter, but these messages can lean on the savage side. Rovizini. Clarissa, hey. Perfect timing. Charlene, lovely to meet you too. Hazel, what's good? It's nice to see you back. We're going to be getting some messages from the Hawk Spirit Totem today, just because I feel like their medicine is really going to be potent for you in this time frame. Lori Solomon, hello. Good morning. I love when you guys all come in and say hi. I love connecting with you here. Okay. So there's a message coming through already about longevity. Martin, hello. Stood out to you on my sweatshirt. Nice. Rebecca, hello. Good morning and welcome in. You know, you're right, Spirit. The charms are a lot of fun. Let's pull some charms. But I always like to smudge them just because they sit there and they collect energy. So I'm offering gratitude with this Dragon's Blood Sage to my team, to your teams, to the Hawk Spirit Totem. Darlisa, hello. Oh, and my name says Rose. Yes, that's my middle name. Cecile Lee, hello. All right. Pull some charms for you to get these messages started. There's a lot of them. Your middle name too? Oh, amazing. Okay, we got a whole handful today for you guys. So let's get right into it. First we have, I always find it so interesting what the energy is when they all land in my hand. And right now there's a lot of momentum building. Okay. We have this star that looks like the pentacle. It's also the pentagram. So I'm seeing, if some of you guys have been working on manifesting through ritual, I see that your offerings are taking a new dimension to them. That's really interesting. So some of you might practice earth-based spirituality, and I'm seeing here with this star with the pentagram that there's I just feel like there's a turn in the way that you approach your manifestations and the way you approach your offerings to the earth, to your deities, to the divine, okay? And your ancestors. There's been a real shift in it's like the tonal quality, like maybe what it is that you're offering, what it is that you're asking for, the way that you show up in your prayers. And now maybe that's specifically just for those of you out here practicing earth-based spirituality. Maybe that's for all of you in that your prayer practices are shifting. The way you're connecting with the divine is taking on it feels like a lighter tone. There's something shifting here that is reflecting your greater degree of surrender, okay? And that's really powerful. Oh, that's sweet. We have a mama elephant and their baby. Mama and baby elephant. Okay, can you guys see that? That's so sweet. I feel like, yeah, there's such there's so much sacral healing happening in the collective right now, you guys. Like sacral chakra is related to reproductive organs, and it's responsible for your creativity, your passion, and really like the the powerhouse of your more base instincts. Some people might put that in the root chakra. I think that's more a safety and security thing from the way that I have come to learn the chakras and really connect with them. But it feels like in this collective energy, there's a lot of there's a lot being triggered around your inner child's healing. Okay, because there's in some practices learning the chakras and connecting with them and healing through them, there's a timeline for what kind of for the ages of development through each of the chakras, okay? And so typically that's read as toddler to like young child is the sacral chakra. So if you're getting a lot of dreams or downloads or just bursts of inspiration where you're feeling called to kind of express yourself in a little bit more of a fun and silly way, that's all very on track with the sacral healing. Sylvia, happy birthday. Thank you for being out here celebrating your birthday with us. What the heck? I hope you have a magical day and that this year is so beautiful for you. So I just see this energy lending itself towards like how you're starting to show up and really shelter your own inner child, how you are changing the way you are caring for yourself. And that's a really beautiful thing. Okay, the wheel came out again for you. I've been pulling this a ton in the last few messages for you guys. But we have, yeah, again, these kinds of shifts in direction here, but also the changing of the tide, I heard. I'm also hearing changing of the guard. We have another starfish. Another starfish. Destiny, welcome in. Another starfish, folks. I feel like I'm hearing the Little Mermaid. Something about the Little Mermaid could be significant. Um, I'm seeing also, yeah, there's a big energy here of expansion while feeling protected and sheltered. There's a really nice balance here for you guys. Like maybe this is something you haven't always felt as you're pursuing new directions in your life, that you actually could step out past your comfort zone and that be a safe thing. I just see that being a really pivotal shift here for you. Hmm. And then we have, I'm hearing Bugs Bunny. This is not the Bugs Bunny though. We do have a little bunny though, a little rabbit. I'm seeing magic tricks, like someone doing like card tricks and magic tricks. Like I'm seeing someone pulling a rabbit out of a hat. That's really what came through here for you. Ooh, I love these two together. Okay. Then we have the hot air balloon. And that really fits with something else that was coming through for your guys. That's a really in line message with the hawk spirit totems kind of themes for you today. And we'll get into it. Straight Queen 78, welcome in. So we have rising to new heights. We have letting go. I feel like when you think about a hot air balloon, it's gathering all this momentum while still being tied to the ground, right? And it's only through the release of those ropes that the balloon can then rise. So there's a real energy of letting go here and just surrendering to this shift, this elevation, okay? And for some of you this is tied to your psychic awareness being enhanced, things getting taken up a notch. Mhm. You might have always been the kind of person that could kind of just finish people's sentences, but I feel like for some of you here, that's really heightened at this time. Just knowing what people are going to say before they even say it. Even if you're not hearing it telepathically, there's an air of that here. Okay, and then we have a little plane, another plane. Okay. What's the best way to show you? Because it looks like one of those little planes that can land on water. I don't know why I can't hold it like a normal person. There we go. Okay. Okay. Welcome. Martin, welcome. Agriculture is welcome. So I just feel like I'm hearing someone's taking a detour. There's a rerouting towards your destination. That was coming through the other day too, but it feels like there's some sort of shift in flight plan. There's a is that called the manifest? There's a shift in the manifest here. And that's heavily ironic considering that you guys are all on the manifestation wave. There's a shift in your manifest. Okay, but we'll get into it more. I have a cat here for you, but this is giving like Bratz dolls energy if that resonates as well. John Darwin, welcome. All right. So again, kind of heightened intuition here. Seeing things through a fresh perspective. Hmm. You had to take a detour around the neighborhood, construction lately, and you had 2 black cats pass you the other night. Can't even make that up. Oh, yes, it does. Destiny, fellow Brat member. Love it. And then we have the fairy. Oh, thank you. We have the fairy. Maybe that's Tinkerbell. I'm hearing Tinkerbell, but I don't think it is necessarily for all of you. I just feel like, again, there's a there's a reason you're giving your inner child permission to explore again. There's a reason that you're giving yourself permission to let your inner child explore again. Because I feel like been a rift in your psyche that has really blocked, not for everyone, but has blocked this kind of childlike quality to the way that you show up, to your energy. And it feels like that's been actually creating a kind of dampening effect over your manifestations. Because I feel like some of you might have been, I don't know if punished is the right word, but maybe isolated is a little bit more in alignment. You've been a little bit isolated because of the strength of your imagination, the fact that you could see things where others couldn't, and to believe in things that other people would call crazy, only for you to turn out to be right or more more sane, more stable in the end, because you allow for that imaginative quality to lift your life. And then we have the Pegasus here, right? Like, you've never seen a flying horse, but some of you believe in them. You know? I mean, I'm one to talk. I believe in dragons. I believe in mermaids. There's no way human beings are the only sentient, conscious beings. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but the world is so big, so mysterious. And that is so prime for discovery. Sharon, I'm so sorry for your loss. If you want to book a personal reading with me, I'd be happy to bring you messages through. You know, pigs fly right over the moon. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. You guys might be having some headaches. We have crown activations here. Oh, what movie is that? That just brought me back to, was that Ella Enchanted with the cursed crown? That's really interesting. We're going to have to talk about it. Because it just feels like, yeah, Spirit's just saying what goes around comes around. And you guys have been on a wave of really making amends and being in alignment with your truths and with your compassion. And it's creating a lot of karmic reward for you. A lot of karmic reward. Okay, we have the anchor. The anchor. I'm seeing someone here is deciding where to put down roots. Something about a double-edged sword coming through. I'm hearing like one of you guys have the thought process or had the thought process, damned if I do, damned if I don't. That's coming through. Okay. Then we have the monkey. I feel like I'm hearing someone's gonna have an unexpected visitor. Someone here is gonna have an unexpected visitor. Some of you in the past might have been dealing with trickster spirits. Yeah, again, it's a protected space. We're not calling anything in. I'm just calling it out. I'm calling it out. All right. Yeah, you might have been dealing with a trickster spirit. Um, that might have been a long time ago. This might have been recent. It'll depend on your own stories and your own timelines here. But I just see that those situations are taking on a new meaning for you, and they're taking on a new kind of, how do you say? A new depth, but there's a new dimension being added to this. Okay? Because I feel like, okay, here we go. Now we're going to start to be pivoting a little bit more deeply into the messages from the hawk spirit totem. Okay? We have the peace sign here. I'm seeing someone like that almost looks like a wreath or something that someone placed on their door, on their front door, like to mark the energy that comes in and out. Someone here very intentionally placed something in their doorway or on their front door to symbolize whatever it is you're trying to manifest here and the energy that you want to call in. Mhm. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Because I'm seeing if also for whoever that is, you have a lot of people that come and go and you like to have visitors. So every time they're stepping through that, it's like a transformative um, energy that's washing over them with peace and joy and whatever else your intentions were. That's really incredible. Um, okay, so we have the hawk spirit totem here today bringing us messages. And one of the first things that's coming through is the idea of longevity. Okay, that some of the seeds that you've been planting over the last few years and probably longer have taken a very long time to become exact in your reality. Okay. And that's all with purpose because you think about what the hawk represents. That's kind of like an Aries energy. They're leaders. They are agile, flexible, able to move really quickly, but also really long distances and can see things from new perspectives or whatever perspective is going to serve their aim. Okay. There's a message here as it relates to your longevity, how you're starting to change the way you approach your goals, the way you approach your spirituality, and the way you see your own character arc. Like if you think about yourself as a character in a book, like a character in a story or your favorite show, your favorite movie, you can notice that there's always some kind of evolution that takes place. Usually static characters aren't written in or really good writers will challenge the static energy of characters that are meant to stay the same, right? But they will go through challenges as well that force them to really face their own static energy. But generally, dynamic characters are the ones that have this ability to completely adapt and evolve. And you are starting to step into an energy where you're starting to believe in your own dynamic capacities. It's not that you haven't already recognized the change and growth that you've gone through. There's just there's just been some sort of old perspective that really blocked you from seeing just how far you've actually come and validating that. Because it's one thing to recognize, it's another thing to validate and act on the belief, right? So, where you're starting to notice these changes in the energy right now is that you're being shown, hey, that's not your life anymore. Hey, you thought you wanted that, but really think about what that would do to you. Hey, you really thought that this was going to be the end all be all, but have you really thought about the consequences of how that would affect every other thing in your life? Some of you, you're starting to bridge the gap a little bit more smoothly and cleanly between your logic and your intuition. Now, I feel like that's something the medicine of the hawk is here to help you with, is really seeing where you can find greater alignment for yourself between what currently is and what you want. Not that you have to have a clear-cut path all the way from where you are today to where you're trying to go, but that whatever it is you do want, you're creating a framework mentally that supports your ability to move in that direction if it really is what you want. And so something else that's taking place right now in the collective is something that um, Abraham Hicks, Esther, and Jerry, who channel consciousness Abraham Hicks, they refer to this as heightened, or actually, desire clarifying experiences of contrast. Desire clarifying experiences of contrast. And I think this is such a beautiful way to say that if you try to manifest something and you really don't know if it's for you or not, or your guides really don't think it's for you, but you're still trying to move in that direction, they're going to show you, hey, let's heighten a situation for you so you can see the polarity of how you might actually fit into a scenario like that, or how this manifestation might play out for you. They'll show you something that's really, really great, and then something that's really, really, really not what you want. Even if that thing that ends up being more triggering or uncomfortable for you was something that you initially thought you were creating for yourself. Okay. So these experiences of a heightened contrast, something really, really good and something you thought that you really wanted that was supposed to be good, just really not panning out for you. I know, Spirit, I hear you. Showing you the reality of something that you are trying to call in, but maybe won't actually be in alignment with you. Okay. So I think we're gonna pivot here in a second. Because there's another message coming through that we have to talk about, because this is very important. This is from the Hawk Spirit, but this is also from your angels and your spirit. Your guardian angels, very specifically your guardian angels coming through. The Hawk Spirit is also a guardian, so it makes sense that they're here too. So just give me a second. I'm caffeinating and getting the full download. Okay. Tell me, what are you guys sipping on? It's 10:30 for me, but I'm not a person before 2 cups of coffee. Okay. So the hawk is here also to speak to you about, yes, detachment. I see some of you guys are already talking about this in the chat, setting boundaries, how you can find detachment a little bit more aligned with you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Spirit is going to kind of, in this energy right now, they're going to, okay, so that's why this message of these heightened experiences of contrast came through first, because your guides right now in this season, kind of leading up to the first day of spring, I really feel, but it could be leading up into Cancer season. That's like 6 months, bro. That's hold on. No. Okay. Leading up into, it kind of feels like it's going to play out throughout Taurus season. Okay. So that's going to be May-ish. All right. And now whenever you find this, that's within the next 8 to 10 weeks. Okay. Spirit is trying to help you kind of get out of the habit of manifesting things that aren't aligned with your truth of security. Okay. Now, that feels kind of obscure. There's like so many different ways that they want to break this energy down. So I'm trying to pull through one at a time. But they're giving you these experiences of contrast because they don't want you to be creating things anymore that really don't serve your highest good. They don't want you feeding into your own fear, okay? Because when you manifest something because you believe that you're experiencing the opposite of it. Okay, so maybe some of you have been looking for a job change, or you've been trying to manifest a shift in career, but the direction that you're trying to open up for yourself, while it meets certain criteria, your now this is an example, don't take this if you actually feel aligned with wherever you're going in your career. This is just an example that's coming through, okay? So put it where it fits. But this is so you can understand what the point is they're trying to make. So if you are in a path right now that feels kind of dull, and I'm not saying it is dull, but there's something here that isn't energetically challenging to you and doesn't put a lot of strain on your body, but you feel like it's not enough and that you need more of this, you need more of that, you need to keep going and move out of this place to go there to do this, and you get this opportunity, or life starts to reflect back to you what those possibilities could look like, except they're completely not what you expect, and it ends up being something that is, it shows you that that direction might actually be very draining to you and take you out of alignment with your purpose. Okay, they're going to be showing you these kinds of contrasting experiences, especially in the energies like this right now, because yeah, they're saying this is very typical of a Mars Pisces, Mars and Pisces transit. Okay, um, that because the Mars energy just wants to go, 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 and you want to take action, but the Pisces is very intuitive. It's very emotion based, and Mars, when it's emotion based, can kind of take you off track a little bit because it has such a passion and fire pushing forward, that driving on that emotion only without tempering the intuition with logic and um greater assessment and analysis of the complete picture can kind of put you in a direction that you really don't want to be in. So the reason that's being tempered is because spirit doesn't want you creating things from fear anymore. And sometimes you don't even know that you're creating something out of fear. So they're going to show you, hey, well, here's a little taste of that experience. Is that really feeling good to you? Does that really make you feel like you're excited about your life and that it's aligned with you and what you want? Or are you still having a hard time trusting but not able to see why? Okay. Those kinds of things coming through. Now, that could be due to someone's housing situation. I feel like um, there's a situation in a home currently for some of you here. I feel like a handful that there's a realization coming to you about what actually meets your needs. Okay, and I feel like there's so many aspects to this, being tied to your self acceptance, being tied to what you perceive security to be, what you perceive freedom to be. Okay, all of these situations that are creating contrast for you, heightened experiences of contrast, are trying to show you, well, on the one side of the polarity, it's this. On the other side of the polarity is this. What actually feels like blank, this value to you? What actually feels like success? What actually feels like freedom? What actually feels like independence? What actually feels like safety to you? There's a lot of that kind of duality being highlighted for you right now in your life in a lot of different areas. Wherever you feel like you've been struggling the most, spirit sees that, and that's why they're trying to show you where to let go so you can take off. Okay, so you can be aligned with more of what you desire. Okay, now that's not for the things that you already know you're on track with. Okay, that's going to be the things that you're still doubting, you're still questioning, that maybe if something is generated from you, that you're still having doubts about your ability to manifest or your ability to trust. Good morning and good morning. Welcome in. So that's kind of one of these messages here that's coming through for you to see what actually supports you, for you to see what actually makes you feel alive and whole, what actually makes you feel like you're living in the flow. Because some of you guys, you've lived your life in such a way that you've always had this insane amount of pressure, this insane amount of energy that you've been having to navigate with a lot of complexity, a lot of dexterity, a lot of suffering, actually. That now you might be in a place right now where spirit is like lifting some of this pressure off you, that you're just kind of like, wait, where, what? That it's kind of hard to adjust. So the fear is getting triggered because it wants to put you back into something that's safe and familiar. Not that that really is safe for you, not that it doesn't drain you, but that your subconscious recognizes, you'll say the devil you know, right? To teach yourself to be safe in something that is different from the way you grew up, or the way you've been taught something means safety or stability, a lot of societal constructs you're coming up against as well. Um, there's a little bit of cognitive dissonance that is manifesting in these situations to show you, hey, do you really want that? Is that really what makes you feel like you are successful, like you are of service, like you are in alignment and harmony with your reality? Is that really what you want? So again, it's Mercury retrograde when I'm recording this. So it's very, very, very important that you are taking extra time to think things through right now. Not quick to sign new contracts, not quick to walk away from things that you don't know if you should or not. You can't act without clarity in this season, okay? The energies are way too intense for you, okay? The energies are way too intense in the collective right now. Like, wait until you have more clarity and you feel more aware, because you know if you're moving through that fog, you know if you're moving through that uncertainty. So just give yourself a little bit of time. It's a pressure cooker, yes, but you can withstand the pressure, okay? Take this time to rest, take this time to reflect. Take this time to see what's working, what isn't. It are some of these things in your external, yeah, some of these things in your external reality. The hawk gives you perspective. Rise up and look down at your life. Is it really your own effort, your own attitude, your own boundaries or lack thereof? Or is it actually the situation at hand that you don't have control over that's creating a lot of this stuff for you? But then, even then, it comes back to, well, how do you deal with it? The hawk medicine wants you to let others take responsibility for themselves and also be radically accountable to the truths in your body. Okay? Be radically accountable to the truths in your body. Okay? And I mean, if you feel like something gives you overwhelming guilt, anxiety, or rage and resentment, and you don't set a boundary around these things and speak up for yourself because you'd rather make other people comfortable, that's not going to fly. That's not flying in this energy. Boundaries are not selfish, especially when your lack of them puts resentment in your body and into that connection. You don't want that. It doesn't feel good. And then you get mad at yourself, like, I don't want to feel like this, but I wanted to help them and I wanted to do this for them and da 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 da. And then you're just angry because you wish you would have said no. Well, say no. You can always change your mind. If you agree to something and plans move forward, you can always change your mind. Okay? Go easy. Go easy on yourself as you're figuring things out. Because your body will start to reject things that are not in alignment with you. That manifests as pain, that manifests as illness, that manifests as literally like your body unconsciously distancing itself from people that you don't understand why. You just get a feeling and you're like, ugh, can't do that. Sorry, I don't know why. Just can't. Just can't. So some of you, I'm seeing people entering a room and you literally getting up and leaving the room because the energy is so abrasive to you that you physically cannot sit in that energy. Okay. I know, Spirit. I hear you. I hear you. There's a lot here with this. I just want to make sure that I'm getting it all out before we pivot. Yeah. And what a gift, Amma, that your nervous system has started rejecting many things that aren't good for you. What a gift. And how empowering is it to actually believe that your body knows what you need? How empowering is that? Okay. God bless you, Justin. What's good? I love the feather, the hawk feather. That's cool. So, as you guys are starting to, okay, wait. Folks, it's not your job to make other people comfortable. That is like the hardest job as a light worker because it literally goes against your light. It's not your job to make other people comfortable. It's your job to create change. You're not here to feed people's egos, collective. And wanting to baby people is feeding their egos, okay? Okay. Your body won't let you continue doing this. It'll become very, very painful to allow and tolerate what actually energetically hurts you. This is not a time where you can sacrifice your own sanity. There's never a time for that. That is never something that I would encourage you to do, ever. Ever. Okay? You're welcome, Jess. Welcome in. And it's not selfish to not want to babysit someone's ego. Okay? It's not selfish. If they're younger souls, you're in their life as an older soul for a reason. And it's not to baby them. Okay? It's not to baby them. You know your guides don't do that with you. Y'all, you think I'm savage? How do you think Spirit talks to me? I'm way nicer. I'm way nicer. I'm way nicer. Okay? Like, this is... Sean, welcome. Yeah, the Hawk Spirit has been here in the collective. That's why I wanted to come through and bring specific messages. Like, this is seriously a time where this is like a no bullshit era, collective. This is a no bullshit era. And your body is allergic to bullshit. Okay? It will keep you uncomfortable until you make the change that you know you're supposed to make. And usually it's not that your heart is on a different page. It's that your head is making up reasons to not change. Okay? Your head is making up reasons to keep things the way they are. Because the pain is familiar. The discomfort is familiar. More than the boundary and the peace is. But that's not a reason not to create peace. That's not a reason to stand up for yourself and say no. Mm-hmm. So, Mercury retrograde, this eclipse still playing out. There's a lot of contrasting, conflicting energy in the collective right now. Okay. All of this is trying to point you in the direction of your real truths, your unapologetic truths. Okay. You're freaking welcome. That is my freaking job. Tell you like it is. That is my job. I'm happy that you received you received what you needed. God bless. All right. Yes, nausea and pain. Exactly. Some of these things making you literally sick to your stomach. Literally sick to your stomach. If you are holding back your truths, it's not a freaking joke. Your body is rejecting your own BS. I love you, but you deserve better from yourself. Okay? Now, this other message here. We got to talk about your sensitivity. All right? Your sensitivity is not something people can understand unless you are in this space with us today. Okay? Or you find other people that are wildly empathic like you. Okay? That's just not something everyone has. Sensitivity is like, it's a gene expression. Okay? It's not something that just builds over time. You either sign up for the human meat suit that has it or fucking doesn't. Okay? There's no in between. It's roughly 20% of humanity at most as sensitive as you and I. Okay? That's 1 out of every 5 people at most. You will never be able to show up in your reality in a way that is in alignment with the people that are not sensitive. Okay? And this is also something that you might never actually be able to get them to understand. But it's not their job to understand. It's your job to show up in a way that serves you best. Okay? It's your job to show up and meet your own needs. It's your job to recognize where trying to explain something to someone is just a waste of time. Validate yourself. Of course, we're all surrounded by people we wish would understand these things. Me too. Life would be so different. Life would be so different. Life would be so different. But you're here to reflect back to people what is unconscious on their part, because it's not that they don't feel, it's just they have no awareness. They have no awareness. So it looks like their egos run off the charts because you see things plain as day, because you sense what's happening at multiple levels, you guys. It is not their fault that they chose the non-sensitive meat suit package, okay? It's not their fault. It was the lessons that their soul decided they needed in this life. But that's also why you're around, because they're learning through contrast. They're learning through contrast the same way you are. So I'm going to give you an example, you guys. Like yesterday, I went out to a convention and it was something I was so excited for. But it was in the city and I don't live in the city anymore. I lived in Manhattan for like 3-4 years. And now I'm back in like the country-ish suburbs where, like, which is more, it's more rural out here than where I grew up. But it's like, it's kind of like medium suburbs because I'm sensitive. I didn't realize that the hustle and bustle of all of that was so overwhelming, like to the point that when I was out yesterday, I was just thinking about how I don't know how I did that for so long. And the reality is that I was dissociated the whole time. I literally was not in my body. I didn't I Most of that time was a blur because of the intensity of all that energy. It made me so sick to my stomach yesterday. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so overwhelmed." There's like hundreds and 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 hundreds of people in here, and we're all just trapped. The energy is just trapped in here, and no one thinks to Reiki the space. No one thinks to like smudge in here. No one does that. It's just chaos. Everyone else is chaos. I'm feeling everyone else's everything, and I just want to puke. I I almost got so sick, and I was like, Julia, why did you do this? Why did you do this? And it took maybe like 20 minutes for me to get grounded after that. It took 20 minutes. And I was like, "No, Julia, you're a bad bitch. You can do it. You can do this. You got yourself all the way here." And yeah, Mercury and the Fry are trying to fry everything up about every single thing yesterday in that sequence of events. It was just like, this is ridiculous. Like this is I know I teach grounding, but this is like insane, okay? This was absolutely insane. I didn't know like the whole thing with the parking was a mess, just like completely unexpected and absolutely chaotic. Like I had no idea where I was. I'd never been there before. I was like in this really overwhelming loud place getting food, and then I was like, now I have to go walk over here and everyone's with their dogs and everyone's yelling, and it's just like, what the how did I do this for so long? How did I do this for so long? And I realized it was because I was dissociated the whole time. Because like I kind of wasn't there. I was checked out. So for those of you light workers who are living in cities, God bless the fuck out of you. Okay? Like no, but like people are just never gonna understand. People are just never going to understand why you don't want to have like 500 friends. People are never going to understand why you'd rather sit at home and be by yourself. No one would rather understand. No one's going to understand why, when you make plans for yourself, you're not trying to invite everyone to go out with you. You just want to take yourself out and you want to go do something fun for you. People are just never going to get it. They're just not going to get it. And there's a kind of defeat that comes from that realization, and there's also a peace, because at that point you just don't care about whether people get it or not, because it's just how it is. You can't change it. But you have to do what you have to do to stay grounded and settled. Needless to say, I took a while, but I got there. Had to go, like, in those situations, you guys, cold exposure is the best thing to help you ground. Cold exposure is the best thing. Now, whether you're in a crowd of like 700 people or you're out at your cousin's house and you are feeling overstimulated because the energy feels the same to you in your body, cold exposure is the first fast thing you can do. Sit on the ground. If you can sit on the ground or sit on something cold, do that. Okay? Those are two of the best ways to help bring you back to your body, because the overstimulation creates excess heat around you in your aura. And it's the fact that you feel like it's just like trying to like smother you. That's really the key here of what is feeling so uncomfortable. Okay? I was so angry at my guides. I was like, I cannot believe you. I was like, I cannot believe you're making me do this right now. I cannot believe you let me do this. All right? Yeah. Or having a real plan, having a very clear plan about how you plan to navigate a space. And so you can take excess worry and overthinking and decision-making out of that moment. Yeah, feet on cold grass, amazing. If it's kind of cooler out where you are, going outside without a jacket. And just, if you can also think about breathing into your lower back, or even just massaging your lower back to stimulate your root chakra, that's a really huge thing. You're speaking to me from the past. Oh, well, Elizabeth Craig, hello whenever you catch up to this point in the video. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're getting Lindsay's getting an image of sticking their head in the freezer. That's kind of funny. But no, but really, cold exposure is a really fast way to do that. If you have Reiki attunements or you use breathing techniques regularly to help yourself ground and situate, also light language is really powerful too. But just remember then that you're strong. Telling yourself too that you're strong and that you have what it takes to settle in that energy, that you have what it takes to resituate yourself, that you are capable. Listen. Yeah, absolutely creative, game changer. Think like if you put your hand on your lower back and you think about breathing into your lower back to expand that space, life changing. Okay? Life changing. Okay. But I just had to tell you that I get what you're going through. And we'll say even of the 20% of people, those 1 in every 5 people that are hypersensitive, there's still like 20% of them, of us, okay? We're like, I would say that's a spectrum even of itself. That 20% of humanity is still a spectrum of how sensitive people really are. Because there's in tune, there's awareness, and then there's, you feel like you're flying out of your body because of every single stimulation, okay? That's not just a nervous system trauma response. It's not. It's literally the fact that not everyone's sensitivity is built the same. And I know I'm speaking to the people that are hyper sensitive. Hypersensitive. Of the hypersensitive. Okay? Because my guys will even be like, I'll be like, why is this happening? Not just with yesterday, but like other things too. And they'll be like, because you're overly sensitive, Julia. They're not even nice to me about it anymore. You guys, they're not even nice to me about it anymore. They're just like, yeah, you're just overly sensitive. You guys, it's not like I can help it. Not like I can help it. But they don't just say, oh, you're like part of the sensitive like group of humans on the planet Earth, okay? Or you're part of the sensitive light workers, okay? No, they'll just be like, you're overly sensitive. Like over and above. You're rude. You can at least, like, knowing that I'm sensitive, why are you so mean to me? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But whatever. Because I know my sensitivity is a gift because it gives me the ability to be so in tune that I can understand the inner workings of things that you guys are going through. I can understand the inner workings of my clients, of energy, of where things are stored in your body, of why things are playing out like this, and how to direct you with the precise words and the precise energy for delivery that will really help it land. You know what? Mm-hmm. Yep. Cold, hard surface. Nope. And that's perfect. Yep. When you get hot and overstimulated and nauseous because of its being so much, you want to lie on a cold, hard surface. You already knew. Not only you. Happy to validate you. Mm-hmm. You're so welcome. All right, folks. We've been in here for an hour. I have not pulled any cards. This has just been straight channeling. I love channeling for you guys. But I love the cards too. I think they're pretty. Spirit's always like, Julia, you don't need the cards. Yeah, but I like them. I like them. They're fun. They're pretty. And I think they make for nice storytelling. I think you guys can follow really well with them. And maybe you learn something new about each card when you see my readings. Yeah, okay. Because I know I read tarot different from some folks. I know that. I know people have given me shit for that. They're like, Julia, you're not supposed to read it like that. And I'll be like, I'm sorry. Are you my spirit guides? You're not. I'm sorry. That's nice. Sorry. I'm feeling a little sassy today. Okay? Feeling a little sassy. You guys rock. I appreciate you too. I learned tarot by intuitively connecting with each card, watching other readers, as well as going through basic charts. I was thinking, you guys, that over on Patreon, I've been thinking about like, how can I add to this in a unique way? And I'm thinking about going through tarot lessons and teaching you guys about each card. And if you guys would be open to that, let me know if you'd be open to that scientific energetic breakdown, if that's something that would interest you. Because the way they're showing, all right, Spirit, one thing at a time. I know you guys were so busy out here with all the ideas. Ophelia, that's a brilliant question. Yes, I am channeling. I'm always channeling. You guys, the psychic in me never gets turned off. There's no way. There's literally no way. I couldn't even if I tried. Anytime I try, it's like a knock on the door and then they just walk through it like it was never there. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I know, Robert. I'm trying. It's actually not enough. Okay, so I have to come back to Ophelia's question because that was brilliant, and I think you guys you need to hear the download too. So Ophelia's question: do you ever find it difficult around other types to communicate due to being silly sensitive? That was a very sweet and gentle way of putting it. And it gets overwhelming and unable to connect at their level. I'm really struggling with it. Yes, that is a brilliant question. And you guys, I'm kind of like a nerd. and I love really getting into the nitty-gritty of like energy communication and energy manipulation. That's why I teach Reiki. It's also why I love channeling and just learning new things from my spirit team to kind of make that available to you all. And if you guys want to join me for those really life-changing meditations, I do them over on Patreon. We're actually going to be jumping. Guys, really exciting news. I am a very creative person. I love singing. I love acting. I love dancing. I don't really dance anymore though. But I just got cast in a play around where I live, and I'm really excited. And so the rehearsals are going to be over the next 2 months. And so the timing of the meditations is usually on Tuesdays. It's going to be alternating between Mondays and Tuesdays. So I'm going to be scheduling those in advance, and I'll pin a note at the top of the dates and times that those are going to be. Okay, you guys? So just stay tuned for that. If you're over on my Patreon channel, we're going to be kind of mostly Tuesdays, but probably jumping to Mondays or moving them earlier in the day, depending on the week. That's just going to be the next couple of months because the shows are in May. So very exciting. Yay. Can't wait. But yeah, so just stay tuned. Alrighty. Thank you. All right. So let's see. We're going to be answering this question now. Thank you, Spirit. So, do you ever find it difficult to communicate with different people? Yes and no. Yes and no, because the first thing is I ask my body, or I just take notice of whether my body feels like I want to talk. Because my body is very attuned to spaces and times where like I just know whether I'm going to be heard or validated or not. So that's really one of the first things that I kind of tune into. Do I feel like I want to be very expressive and communicative right now? Or do I feel like just kind of witnessing? Because if my instinct is to clam shut around a person or a group, then that tells me everything that I need to know about how much energy to give in any situation. Because my instincts have never been wrong in that sense. And every time I go against it, I always get really drained, or there's miscommunications, or it just ends up being this whole blowout, and I just end up regretting the fact that I opened my mouth. So that's really the first thing for me, is noticing whether my instinct really is to be kind of open or not. And then from there, now in some of these situations, it's like you have to find a way to bridge the gap without opening up your energy, right? So still, like, for me, that ends up being like communicating in a civil, polite way, but it ends up being more direct. Okay. You guys have to remember, I grew up in New Jersey. I lived in New York. I can be very direct and very sharp sometimes. So that's like, for people that aren't used to that, like I also grew up in a household where my voice wasn't heard. So I had to learn to be very quick and very, like, to say what I needed to say in a very concise, quick way, but also in an energy that, hear me, okay? So it's very interesting the way, like, my experiences have lended itself to being out here on YouTube, but just noticing, like, okay, what is the best way for me to say directly and not in like a very sharp way, because that's like my tendency that I have to like work with, right? But how do I say, and it's so funny because people sometimes when they meet me, they're like, "Oh my God, you're so nice. You're so like sweet." And they probably think I'm a little ditzy just because I'm just like in this like inner child energy. And then they hit up against my like inner warrior, my inner little savage. And they're like, "Where did that come from?" And I'm just like, well, what you see is what you get. So if I'm mirroring you, that's for a reason. And that's also protective, right? So just noticing, Ophelia, like where you notice the different kinds of expression and communication that naturally come about, and just taking a little bit of time to reflect on past circumstances where you've noticed different ways that you've tried to communicate or you felt comfortable communicating, and then really kind of assess, well, what was the energy of the situation? Was it the place? Was it something you were dealing with? Was it their energy that you were like, how do I connect? But if there's situations where you're wanting to kind of level with someone, I find that, like, at least for me, I always have to say because I know a lot of people really don't say what they mean. They really don't say what they mean. Or they say something and then assume that others are catching on to the meaning that they're communicating. And that was something that I had to learn about my own communication, and really work hard to align precisely the words that I meant with the meaning that they carry. Okay? That's also a sensitive thing and a dissociative thing. So when you're not in your body, it's very hard to be self-aware. So in my own journey, it was just kind of like being aware of noticing when the words that I'm saying feel like they're in alignment with what I'm trying to communicate and when they're not. And then a really great entry point that I love to use is saying, I'm going to level with you. Those words carry the magic frequency of building a bridge to communicate, because it's setting the intention that whatever you're going to say is going to reach them at a level that they can hear. Okay? So I'm going to level with you. And now, again, it depends on the kind of communication that you're trying to have. Like, are you trying to have a serious talk with this person? See, this is like what it's like inside my brain. You asked a very direct question. I'm answering it in 100 different ways because there's so many different things that go into this, right? So just being mindful of like what feels right to you, okay? And not judging yourself for how you feel you need to express something. That's a really important thing here, because everyone's always going to have something to say, right? But if you feel like you're showing up in a way that is true to you, that's the most you can ask yourself for. So if you're feeling misunderstood, then it might be worth having a conversation saying, hey, and being direct about that, like, to whoever this is that you're trying to connect with. I feel like there's a lot of miscommunication taking place when I try to talk about blank. It just feels like my meaning is getting lost and we're not able to, and I feel like I can't communicate in a way that you can hear what I'm really trying to say, what I'm really saying. And so I have a few people like that in my life, and I have to remind them. I'm like, I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. If you're seeing the words that I type or you're hearing the words come out of my mouth, it's because I'm saying very directly what I mean. Because a lot of people are looking for reasons to see others attacking them, right? And that's the case with one of these people. It's just very combative. And my gosh. So yeah, it is speaking like a different language. It is absolutely speaking a different language. Yeah, and Martin's saying that the unmatched energies aren't sticking around long enough. Absolutely. Because the more you are true to your own frequency, the more you're true to the compassionate communication or heart-centered communication or whatever the hell centered communication you're trying to vibe on that train, whatever it is, the more that's going to create a polarity around you of people that are drawn to it and pushing away people that aren't, right? So it is like speaking a different language, but that comes with practice. It comes with practice. It comes with practice. So I think the biggest thing I would say to you guys is stop giving your energy to things that drain you and stop saying yes to things that you want to say no to. Because that's just going to clear up your energy, which makes communicating a lot easier for you. And as you're coming out of people-pleasing cycles and stepping into your empowerment, that's going to be pivotal for you. You're welcome. And thank you for asking that question, because I feel like there was a lot of validation for a lot of folks here in the things that answered that. Let me know if that resonated with you. I'm glad it resonated with you, Ophelia. Bobby, what's good? Vinay Singh, hello, welcome in. Venus Aura 777, welcome in, welcome in. All right, I feel like we're kind of reaching the end of the message. That this whole message took so many different turns, and I pulled a couple cards, but I feel like there's a little bit more that we have left to cover, and then we're going to be hopping off. We're about 111 in here, 111 minutes. Okay, now it's 112. It's not that many minutes. It's an hour and 12 minutes, but I look at the timer and I see 111. Okay. Only Ophelia resonated with that? Damn. What are the rest of you doing here? Say hello. Say hello. If you want to book a personal reading, you can book a personal reading on my website. I offer 1-question emails as well as 30-minute and 60-minute Zoom sessions. If you'd rather have that be pre-recorded so you can watch it on your own time, you can let me know, but I would always love to connect with you on Zoom. So, awesome. Amazing. Saying hello, hello, hello. Jessie Lee. You're doing your morning yoga? Okay, you are still with me. You are still with me. Okay, good. It helped you. Okay, good. Okay, good. I'm happy to be a guinea pig, you guys. I feel like that's half my job, is just going through it first so I can break down what will help you navigate it. Okay? Yeah, people taking it the wrong way. And like, you guys are well-intentioned, you know? And sometimes people will just have a hard time believing that your intentions are really what you are saying they are. But let people deal with their own issues, you guys. Oh, Tina, God bless you. You're amazing. Mary Mambo, what's good? Mary Penny, hello. Brett, hello. Molly, hello. Holy Railstone, what's good? Starseed 333, hey. I'm glad it's resonating with you guys. Glad it's resonating. Nice. Actually, I grew up in Central Jersey, which even for people in New Jersey, they don't think Central Jersey is real. I promise it is. There's North Jersey, there's Central Jersey, and there's South Jersey, and I grew up in Central. Okay. Mm. Okay. We're pivoting towards the end of our messages here. I feel like we're getting towards the end. Oh, Monarch, God bless you. Thank you. And you guys, if you want to hit that like button so these messages can reach more people that they're meant for, that would really help me out, and I would love it. And I'd appreciate you greatly. And God blesses those who bless me. You better believe it. Because I'm God's special little princess. No. We all are. Okay, 4 of Pentacles. 8 of Wands. The High Priestess. The 4 of Swords. And the 10 of Wands. Wow. Four of Pentacles, 8 of Wands, the High Priestess. Yeah, I just feel like that's such a funny imagery. Okay, so I'm just seeing this 4 of Pentacles person just sitting there watching this like river flooding. Yeah, all good, Mary. We're wrapping up today on the live. The 4 of Pentacles watching this 8 of Wands, just like hoping that these little sunflowers will guard them from the like overflow of abundance that's wanting to reach you. That's so funny. The way I saw it, it was just like, wait, no, I'm not ready. Yeah, you are. If you're not ready, get ready. Because there is so much that wants to reach you. So much positive energy, so much support, so much love that wants to reach you. And I feel like one of the biggest lessons that's going to keep cycling through the rest of the month really is where you block abundance, where you block positive, loving energy. And the High Priestess with the 4 of Swords here says, it's time to open up. It's time to be more comfortable in your uniqueness. It's time to be more comfortable in your knowing, to really sit in that, embrace it, and to not doubt it anymore. Because your own sensitivity, okay, that's a very interesting contrast, Spirit. Like there's a difference between guarding your heart and guarding your energy to keep yourself protected, and living with your heart wide open and your love so freely pouring out of you that protects you in and of itself. You think about like the visual and the feeling of those two things, like guarding your heart versus just living life openly. There's a very one is actually more protective than the other. Because if you think about too, that's setting an energetic precedent for your reality of what you're calling in, of what you can see reflected back to you. So the more you open up, the more life opens up to you. And so a really key thing there, this was coming through a lot in the last few days for you guys, that a really key thing here is healing the way you treat yourself, healing the way you speak about yourself and you see yourself. Opals, bless you. God bless you. Thank you. I'm here for you. It's all for you guys. Yeah. Oh, don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. It's Saturday morning. I'm not caffeinated enough for that yet. Okay. You guys are sweet. But really just noticing where you can treat yourself in this kind of unique glow that you carry and just cherish your light. To stop being so hard on yourself for what you perceive your mistakes to be, what you perceive your failures to be, for not learning things fast enough, for not changing things fast enough, for not believing in God more, for not believing in your angels more, for not believing in yourself more. Whatever these things are that you still are like, okay, I want the things and they're almost happening, but I can't believe I did that and I did it. It's just like this self-punishing cycle. Step out of it. Step out of it. And it's only going to be with practice, you guys, that in these moments of tension or contention, that you are meeting yourself in a new energy, that you're saying, you know what? In the past, I used to speak to myself this way. And you know what? I'm not fully from 0 to 100, but I can say, you know what? I can make peace with that. You could be a little more civil towards yourself, you guys. You could be a little more civil. Okay? The Ten of Wands tells me that there's just so much. It's just like, I just see like there's a line that you're drawing in the sand here. There's a line that you're drawing in the sand here of just like, that was the old life. That was the old reality. That's over there now. I know. Thank you. That's over there now. That's what it was. We're going that way. Totally trying to be more accepting and compassionate about yourself. Yes, absolutely. Because like the releasing and letting go, it doesn't have to be this, oh, I can't believe I did this. Like, I'm never doing that again. I hate the fact that I blah, blah, blah. Whatever this is. It doesn't have to be this whole fight with yourself. It doesn't. This is where reparenting comes into play, reparenting yourself. And we come full circle back to where we started with the inner child healing. This is why the sacral activations are going so crazy right now. You could be having symptoms that are in alignment with a Kundalini rise. You might have had a Kundalini rise recently, or you have one coming up. Okay. Now, not all Kundalini rises are created the same. Depending on where you are in your consciousness, the kind of energies that you work with, and whether you're a healer or not, or how many Kundalini rises you've had yet, like they all affect you differently. They're not always going to be like this giant blowout of a ego death. They're not always going to be this like every hair standing on an end, your whole body flooded with heat and overwhelming sensation. Like it's not always going to be this giant like, holy shit. It's not always going to be like that. Now, there are certain ones that much energy is required to transmute everything that the Kundalini rise is trying to let go of and help you process. Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. But I can tell you, I've only had a few that were like that. And I've had several Kundalini rises. Several. Like I cannot even count them. Okay? And you're like, how is that even possible? Because I know. Because I work with the energy and my spirit team tells me when they're about to happen. Okay? No, the heat rising is not a joke, but it's also not going to be every single experience you have with a Kundalini rise. Okay? So a lot of symptoms in the collective right now akin to Kundalini awakenings. Okay? Go easy on yourself. Go easy on yourself and find ways to process this. Find ways to process this energy. Okay? Let me see. There was something else here, Spirit, before I went on that tangent. Why did I go on that tangent? Where was I going? Where were you taking us? I should really ask. That's intense. Spirit is saying not to expect from others the work that you would put in yourself. Okay, just a reminder out here, not to expect from others the same amount of effort and dedication that you put into healing. This is all about you. This is all about you. Is there anything else? I feel like there was something else. We were talking about the line in the sand. Yes, the inner child healing, reparenting, bringing that all full circle, which is why, and again, a lot of that energy, thank you, there it is. The connection being that your inner child's relationship to your parents or your guardians or whoever raised you, those internalized dynamics actually live in the sacral chakra. They live in the sacral chakra. Your inner child is seated in your sacral chakra. Okay. So if you've been getting a lot of healing situations and dreams and downloads, or conversations around your childhood or the way you related to a parent or guardian or both or however many, that's all consistent with the collective energy right now. Healing your inner child. That's not something that ever really ends on a spiritual journey. It's not something that ever really ends. But there are times when it comes more into focus than others. And now is a time where there's a lot of that coming into focus because you're rewriting the script for how a guardian is supposed to protect you. And you're becoming that version of yourself. Okay? Now, if you're needing help diving into these memories and these dynamics, you can either book a reading with me and we'll break it down and I'll channel messages for you from your guides. You can book a Reiki session with me and we'll approach it from the energy and help remove any sort of blocks that are preventing you from moving forward and healing those dynamics. And if you'd rather kind of do it on your own, but in a systematic way, I've created a Shadow Work Bootcamp where it's 6 weeks of guided meditations that you every week are approaching a different theme of emotion. I took an emotional approach to this because really sometimes it's not the memories that haunt you. It's the lingering feelings that you don't know where they're coming from. Okay? And so the feelings and it's back and forth. It really depends on your situation. It depends on what these things are. But every week we tackle a different emotion, everything from anger to depression to humiliation and embarrassment and also abuse. All of these kinds of themes that live in the body and shape your subconscious in a way that is sabotaging you. That course, it might take you longer than 6 weeks, but if you tackle it and you are consistent in the energy that you put into diving in and breaking down these scripts, these narratives, from taking a powerless perspective and calling your power back by how you talk about these things and how you speak about your past, you're going to release the hold they have on you. And again, it comes with time, it comes with repetition, it comes with practice. So I created a workbook for you to actually write down or type out to actually ingrain those shifts deeper in your subconscious to create a new neural pathway for the narratives that you tell. Okay? The link for that is $30, literally $30 USD. The link for that is in the description box below. I know my mods here, thank you, Lisa, have been dropping links in the chat. It will change your life if you want it to. I'm here. I'm doing this work because I saw a need in a space where there was a lot of information, but not a lot of practicality. I'm here to help make your changes practical and actionable and to cheer you on as you start to change your lives. That's why I'm here. Because I want to help you. And if you feel called to book with me one-on-one, I would love to assist you in that way. I would love nothing more. And of course, it's always when the time is right. Always when the time is right. Whenever you are ready. No one can make you be ready. That's a decision that you make. And readiness has nothing to do with motivation. It's about conviction. All right, folks. I feel like that's the message. I feel like that's what we have for you today. Thank you, Hawk Spirit Totem, for bringing through messages for the collective to help them understand their own power and independence, their adaptability, how safe they are to become the leaders of their own lives, to follow their instincts, and to address the circumstances that hold you back, whether they're internal or external. All right, beautiful people. You're amazing. And I love you dearly. And I will see you in the next one. I have a feeling I'm going to be live tomorrow. I have a very strong feeling that I'm going to be seeing you guys again tomorrow. So look out for the time for that. And I hope you have a beautiful Saturday, or wherever you are, whenever you are that you find this message. Let me know in the comments what resonates with you, and we will just dive right into it. We'll keep going. You know, I'm always out here to offer you guidance and support. Okay. I love you dearly. You're amazing. You're so welcome, Anna. You're welcome, Lee. You're welcome, Holy Grail Stone. Sean, love and light to you. Ophelia, love and light. Rebecca, you're welcome. Liza, or Liz, you're welcome. You're so, so welcome, folks. All right, beautiful people. If you want to book a reading with me or a Reiki session, you can do that on my website. Lisa dropped the link in the live chat. And it's also in the description box below. Okay. I think this is where I leave you for now. I'll see you soon, beautiful people. Take it easy. Go easy on yourself. Hug a tree. Plant a flower. Do what you gotta do. All right, folks. I'll see you soon. All the best.